Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Goodness knows what direction this could go in, considering what's happened already in the show today.
Did you talk about Man United in the show yesterday?
I don't think so. Did we?
What's wrong? We talked about it on Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so...
But he said the most ludicrous stuff.
Yes, you addressed that on
we
Saturday.
discussed it Saturday, but it's travelled.
Oh,
It's so big.
I saw the TikTok video of you.
TikTok video of me?
Yes. Talking about Ten Hag.
I'm not
It's
on
gone
TikTok.
viral.
I'm not on TikTok.
And someone's made a TikTok video, and it's complimentary to
You're TikTok famous, Craig.
You're like, OK.
Eric Ten Hag's a bigger story.
OK, well,
right?
the first question is about Manchester United.
Eric Ten Hag's a bigger story. The rhetoric he's come out with all season is a bigger story, right?
OK, all
than
right.
whether Mikel Arteta is going to might or might not change a goalkeeper.
OK, but we did talk about that on Saturday.
Yeah, and it's worthy of we can talk about it all week. We'll talk about it tomorrow, right? Because Newcastle Milan's going to be crap.
Why?
So we'll talk about it
It's going to be
tomorrow
fun. Newcastle in Champions League. Shaka says it's going to be 0-0. What do you mean it's going to be rubbish?
Oh, Mikel Arteta
That's what I say on the record.
Oh, he said...
That's what I say on the record. In private, I say something totally different.
In private. I'm sure many people have noticed that Kieran's been away for a few weeks. Kieran, what have you been doing?
Oh, I got lost in the desert, Dan.
Yeah, what were you doing in the desert, man?
Oh, I got invited by a friend. It was actually a really good trip. And,
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that real?
Yes, that's okay. There is a moving cow.
I'm going
And what's
to
the pink
take the
thing?
squad. I'm going to take the squad next year.
Yeah. You take Craig and Stevie to Burning Man. That'd be fantastic. I think that'd be very good.
No.
You went to
You'd love
Burning
it,
Man?
Dan.
Yeah.
Did he get rained in? It was flood.
Oh, really?
Yes, so I heard.
Oh.
On TikTok.
Who's making TikTok videos? TikTok
I don't know, somebody sent it to me. Look, we're talking about Kieran at the moment.
Oh, it's fine.
Craig, do you
Well, I
fancy
want
it
He
next
was a
year?
little raver, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a little raver. Oh, Kieran.
Look at that.
Craig, do you fancy it next year?
No. I want paid for that TikTok video.
You weren't paid for that.
I didn't authorise it.
Oh, dear. But you had a lovely time, Kieran. You survived.
It was great. It was great. We got out alive. It was, you know, it rained in the desert, right? How often does it do that? What are the chances?
There we go. Now we have to go back to Craig, I'm afraid, Kieran. Why is Craig going viral for his Manchester United takes these days? He's been saying the same thing for the last 5 years.
No, I haven't. Absolute tosh.
Oh. We have been quite critical of United over the last few years.
Yeah, and rightly so.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think you need to necessarily have a go at this person.
But I'm being critical of the manager when he says things like, well, Brighton spend a lot of money also, and their team was, I saw something out there, less than 20 million.
Yeah, I think 17 million against 323 million, I think, for the starting 11s.
And he comes out and plays the unlucky card. The whole place. The whole place. Drives me nuts.
Not often I've seen Craig lost for words.
Sorry?
I haven't seen Craig lost for
I
words
come in
before.
here today and I go to him, what are we going to talk about? And he goes, Mikel Arteta. I go, what's he done? And he told me the goalies and then that was it.
That was it. That was it, Shaq. That set the tone, basically. I don't know what. Kieran, what do you make of United's horrible start to the season?
You know what? I'm not going to jump on the United train at the moment because they're getting enough stick. My only thing is,
why won't you join in, Kieran?
I've got
You can join him.
It's all right.
Craig's the driver.
Listen, this might be breaking news to you. That's what you're getting paid for.
nah, because you know what? It's like we know that they're not at it. They're not good enough, right? My only thing is in the current state of Man United, in what world do you think that you can just go toe to toe with them? Not many teams in the Premier League can go toe to toe with Brighton at the moment, let alone a team that is basically just a complete shambles. So for me, it's like, why would you set up in a way that it's just an ego thing? It's just an ego thing. You have to sit back. You have to play five at the back against Brighton at the moment in United's current state. And so that's my only thing is that, you know, when you're in that state, it's hard because you got to tell players like Bruno Fernandes that, you know, we're not that good of a team at the moment, and we have to kind of, you know, play on the counter attack and change the way we play. But that's just the reality you're facing at the moment, and that's what frustrates me about United is that they haven't been good enough for quite some time now. and they just don't. They haven't changed much. They haven't changed. They haven't tried to change it. So yeah,
I like Kieran. Kieran says, "I'm not going to jump on that Man United train and criticise them, but they're not good. And the ego's too big.
They're a shambles.
And somebody just tell Bruno Fernandes that this is a crap team. But I'm not going to criticise them at all. I am."
Well, they've regressed. I'm bored. Man United have just bored me now.
But no, you can't say that.
I'm being serious, right? I'm being serious. What the hell were you expecting me to say about Mikel Arteta's goalie thing?
Okay, all right. I'm going to...
What the hell were you expecting? They just won at the weekend, right? They dropped Kai Havertz, and you come in here...
You're repeating yourself now.
Yeah, but I'm shocked you thought
so I was
going to sit and go, oh, yeah, it's an amazing story. Mikel Arteta said he was going to maybe change out a goalkeeper here or there.
So, Kieran, there's
he's a bit back crazy.
Kieran, there's a report there was a bust-up in the dressing room afterwards. McTominay, Bruno, Martinez and Lindelof as well. Could this be a good thing? Like, how much have you experienced that sort of stuff in dressing rooms after defeats?
Yeah, a few times, but the only difference is that we always had one or two players that would, the next day call a meeting and sit down with the boys and try and galvanise the squad. Like, I look at this Man United team and I just don't see who's going to actually, get the boys together and say, right, guys, this ain't good enough. What can we do about it? That's what I don't see, and I don't see that at Chelsea either. I don't see a player that's going to sit there and try and get the boys together. We had Mikel Arteta done it a couple of times when we were there trying to scrape for the top four, or Mertesacker or Cesc. Who's going to do that at United right now? I just don't see it. So it doesn't surprise me that there's bust-ups in the dressing room. It's just, I wonder who's going to be the one to step up and try and sort it out.
They've got an international in goal. They've got a Portuguese international at left back, an Argentine international, Swedish international. Who played right back? Wan-Bissaka, English international, Brazilian international, Danish captain, Scottish international, Portuguese international.
So what's your point?
It's a lot of international.
Just because you're an international doesn't mean you're a leader, doesn't mean you can galvanise the squad.
No. Well, my point is, this is coming down to coaching, right?
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about a bust-up in the dressing room after tonight.
Well, that's fine, yeah, but I'm saying the bust-up comes about because the performances have been poor. But the performances have been poor because it comes down to players and coaching, right? You look at the two squads, Brighton, Man United. Come on.
I don't...
Bust-ups happen all the time.
Well, I was just about to say, bust-ups happen all the time, and I don't read too much into it. I kind of think it's a good thing.
Right, you can clear the air.
To counter what Kieran's saying, I don't think Chelsea have that bust-up. Given their performances, I just don't think Chelsea's players care. So they don't. I don't think anybody raises a voice in Chelsea's dressing room. At least in Manchester United, I'll be honest, I didn't think anybody raised a voice there either until this report. So I'm happy for it because somebody needs to say something.
Surely to God, Casemiro's the leader.
Right.
Big guy, enforcer, won it all, done it all, respected in the dressing room. Surely he stands up, bangs a fist, gets everybody listening, and...
Does it make a difference, so if for example, if it's Casemiro, who's had a shocker so far this season?
Well, he is towing a caravan, yeah.
Like, as a player, do you even... Like, shut up, I don't want to listen to you, because, look, you're half our problem at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you have to admit that. If you're the one delivering the speech, so it be, you have to admit that you yourself have been under par too. You can't just start shouting at everybody else and say, I've done my bit, because he clearly hasn't. But look, I don't know. They've just regressed so far at the moment. And I just don't think it helps when the manager has, from day one of this season, has spouted the kind of excuses that he's tried to spout. You're giving players an excuse as well.
We're still on United. Shaka, how would you feel if you were Onana?
kind of knew that the team you were coming into, you probably didn't expect it to be this bad. But you deal with it.
Right.
You know, that's what you're paid for. You come into certain situations, and your job is to make them better. I'm not sure how else to answer. I'm not sure what the question is getting at.
Well, maybe it's like, wow, maybe he thought they were going to be challenging Man City and much further ahead. I don't know.
Listen, you're there for the long term. Onana's there for the long term. 5 games is not going to affect his own prospects in the long term.
How far, Craig, can a healthy Barcelona team go in the Champions League this season? As a Barca fan, I'm extremely excited and I'm expecting at least a semi-final run after watching the Betis game.
Yeah, well, I mean, Betis without the ball were an absolute shambles. But, well, they've got an easy group.
Yes.
So the group shouldn't be a problem, which it was last year when they exited into the Europa League and then lost to Man United, which just was not a great result for them. But yeah, I'm expecting them to be better, although I'm not sure how far they'll get. How far they're going to get depends on what side of the draw they end up on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I think they're still limited in the middle of the park. I mean, Romeo and De Jong did a good job at the weekend, but they got the run of the park. And Oriol Romeo is tidy, but stating the obvious, he's not Sergio Busquets. So that's a big loss for them in there. But yeah, they can. I think quarters, semis would be respectable for them. I think if they come up against a City, I want to say Bayern. Bayern haven't been brilliant.
Yeah, I think like City are so far ahead of everyone else at the moment.
Bayern have not been convincing.
Real Madrid haven't been convincing.
No. I think anybody who catches City at the moment. In fact, I'd go as far as to say I would fancy Arsenal if they hit the straps to beat Barcelona.
Right.
At the moment, yeah.
Kieran, who was the most clutch player you ever played with?
Santi Cazorla.
Oh. Do you want to think about it?
No.
Why?
Santi was just certified. Left foot, right foot. You knew exactly what you were going to get. You could make any run and you wouldn't even have to look at him. You wouldn't even have to look because you know that the ball is going to be perfectly in your stride every single time. He was a freak of a player.
Does Inter Miami, Shaka, owe ticket holders any duty to play Messi when they are paying 5, 10 times, 15 times normal prices for tickets?
It's a good question.
No. If you as a fan decide to buy tickets in the second-hand market at 15 times above face value, that's on you.
Yeah, that's your stupidity.
Yep. Look at me, I didn't pay.
Dad.
Kieran?
I have to agree with Shaka, to be fair. Like, it's true, you know. He doesn't have a duty to play. What if he can't play? If he's injured or... that's just the luck of the draw.
Do you think he should have travelled up there anyway, gave everyone a little wave?
I mean, considering he was in Bolivia playing at, 10,000 feet altitude, and he's played every game since he's been here, and it was on turf. He could have got on a flight. He could have got on a flight maybe and had a wave, but
No, I paid 15 times my ticket price. I don't even want to wave.
A little wave?
No, I don't want to wave.
You don't want to wave?
No,
they could have just sent the security guard.
No.
The game was away from home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I'd love to have had that conversation with Messi. Well, you're not playing. Is he injured?
No, he's just come back from...
No, he didn't play against Bolivia.
Oh, that's true. He waved at Bolivia.
He went up there and waved at the fans, though.
The only wave that Messi's given is the manager. He's gone like that when he asks him if he's going to Atlanta. When he come up to Atlanta. No. Happy days, no.
Imagine Craig waving. I can imagine Craig ever waving.
What's that?
Here we go.
Wave, I wave.
Pardon?
What do you mean waving?
Just waving in general doesn't seem like something that would
What a
naturally.
stupid thing to say.
Coming out on your balcony to your
I
fans.
don't have a balcony. What's it all about?
Oh, he has bears.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he has
right.
bears. He was in the Scottish Sun newspaper, Kieran, because there were bears in the garden. Talk about slow news day.
Early,
Well,
man.
we have been the king of slow news days today.
There we go.
Don't you start me on slow news day.
Speaking of slow news days, on Saturday we discussed pasta being eaten in the morning ahead of early kickoffs. Don wasn't having any of it. Craig shouted at him as well. Did Wenger,
He deserved it.
Kieran, did Wenger ever allow pasta during his time there for pre-game meals?
Yeah. Loads of pasta. Yeah. Even for early kickoffs, for 12 o'clock kickoffs, you'd be having pasta at 8 o'clock, 8:30.
There you go, Craig. Shovel it down.
Well, it's hardly a travesty to humanity, is it? I mean, they're not starving the players, are they? Oh, you have to eat pasta. Oh, I don't eat pasta at 8 a.m. in the morning. This is against my rights. Welcome to 2023.
Well, this was in 2023.
The trouble is, there's too much whining and moaning.
Right, about eating pasta. Too much whining and moaning, ladies and gentlemen. That's Craig Burley.
Too much whining and moaning. Freaking get on with it.
Kieran, how were you at eating pasta at 8 a.m?
Nah, I didn't like that. I didn't like
I
that.
see, Craig didn't like it.
His rights.
What?
Kieran's rights were being violated.
Well, I wouldn't eat pasta at that time in the morning. It's not going to affect my performance, is it? Running about in the field going, oh, that was a bad pass. I should have had that. Yeah, waving
Waving at everyone. Waving.
Freaking goals. I tell you what, every problem starts with a goal.
Oh, dear.
The show started with a goal today, that was a problem. Everything, all the mistakes, goalies.
When is the rowing race going to happen? And when is Craig getting his ears pierced with a potato?
I'm going home. That'll be a big hole. How do you get your ear pierced with a potato?
Oh, God. What's that about?
No, you don't know that?
No.
You don't know this? Hold on.
Yeah, that's what they
I
used to
don't know
do.
I can't even hear that.
Put a potato. Don't try this.
Right.
Try this tonight.
Yep.
But if you want to go, how can I put it? Backstreet.
Backstreet piercings. Burley's backstreet piercings.
You want to come to my house? Backstreet piercing, right? You get a potato.
Yep.
Put it back. You put it behind your ear,
What, then
Yeah,
stab
you
your
do,
ear?
you do.
and then you get somebody to take a run up with a large jab.
Oh, mate, I'd love Stevie to do that to you.
It's a bit of an old wives' tale.
Really?
I don't believe that you get the potato, you stab, and then. Well, you don't want to throw the potato away because that'll be wasted.
Oh, God.
You then get a nice jacket, some tuna.
What kind of potato do different
yeah.
potatoes work differently?
Two potatoes, jacket potatoes,
You got to be flexible.
mashed potato.
Partly, as the myth goes, it dulls the pain.
How does it dull the
Don't know.
Jackie, you're right. Careful. Don't
I have to say, don't try it.
potato.
Do not try that at home.
And what's the deal with the rowing race? You two are going to have a rowing race? You and Kieran?
Well, not in the desert.
Right, go to Running Man, Blazing Man.
Jesus. Maybe we're losing a bit of timber.
There
but
you are, look at hell.
That should be his bet. That should be
I'll
the
tell you
new
what the
bet.
bet is.
Blazing Man,
I'll tell you what, we'll
not
change the
Blazing
bet.
Right, we'll change the bet. I don't think you're allowed to do that, are you?
Him and I get our ears pierced with the potatoes.
Right.
And it's who can suffer the pain the most.
And Stevie does the piercing. I think that'd be perfect. There we are.
We have a headache.
Right.
Shaq, you never heard of that?
No.
No. That's it. Kieran, thank you very much. Welcome back.
Guys, always a
Are you on
pleasure.
tomorrow? You are on tomorrow, aren't you? Are you on tomorrow, Shaq?
No, I'm not.
It's Newcastle. Why are you?
Huh?
Will you be on?
Just to make you happy.
Good potato
I'm on the
shopping.
next 2 days.
Check the weather. Check the weather. If it's raining, I'm not coming in.
I'm bringing potato.
If you mention Mikel Arteta to me,
You keep bringing him up. It's you that's doing it. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.